I was thinking today that however difficult things are now, I've really been through the worst of it, because the worst of it was when I didn't know what was the matter with me. And I just kept trying to work it out, I really worked hard on trying to work it out.
Bipolar bear, bipolar bear.
And what he's going to do is, if there's a little gap or the video stops or something, bipolar bear's going to play a tune. So there will never be any pauses.
It'll be a surprise. You weren't expecting, you've never seen before. Just act excited?
Yes.
We are excited.
Yeah. It depends what mood he's
We're
in.
so excited that we may even have a hula hoop surprise.
Hula hoop!
Make me a star! I am here, you are me.
Yes!
I think I did walrus before. Now
Make it up, we are.
How real is this?
What? A thought appearing in my mind. That's not of my thinking. Although I thought I'd exiled that thought, banished it as not of me, not me enough, then urging me to please shut up.
But this is all pretty new knowledge for me.
Occult symbolism? Yeah. But they do disappear, leaving no thing but muddy myth and warped tradition.
Because, 15 months ago, I was clueless. 15 months ago, I prayed to God to just take me out of this limbo and please just show me what was the matter with me, what was going on, reveal it to me. I didn't pray, I begged. And God sent Bob.
With that, the other thought became a shiver that scoured my spine, and now I find myself engaged in application. That scoured my spine, and now I find myself engaged in application. That scoured my spine, and now I find myself engaged in application. To wrap the rap of the truest groove, there's no stopgap from the first remove. This either-or thing is just one more thing. A touch too much, a tad too bad, a bit too wit, a mite too tight, exploding your mind, a tiny grenade, leaving the impression the other thought made. Well, I never thought the other thought. I never thought the other thought's gonna get you. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Bob overplayed his hand. He played it at a New York vibration. And the locals got all really excited and they tried to raise their vibration and, they ended up showing all their hands. And the weirdest thing was that I was there, that I got it all on camera. I had that camera on the entire time. I drove him crazy. And I didn't mean to. I said to him, I'm making a documentary about this because, that's what I do, I'm the gonzo girl, Or I was. I was just trying to work out my mystery.
This is impossible. The impossible rap is ready to appear. Is it possible you are ready to hear? It's got something to do with what you just said. It's a thought you can't remember in the back of your head. It's a dream you don't surrender when you get out of bed. Just return to sender. Think the other thought instead. Might as well go to bed, chill that hot dog head. Good night, sleep tight, twixt waking and thinking. The other thought is blinking and dragging into place right before your face. place with a certain grace. Well, in that case, is it impossible? It's a sine qua non. It's an itsy-bitsy skitsy. Other thoughts on the phone. So humiliating when your brain is uncoating. It's so humiliating when your brain is uncoating. Back, before you thought it. Back, before you were there too. How do you do is your think on the blink. What is it to you? You can't tell what from what not. That's what the other thoughts thought. Oh, that's real clear. You can take your tongue out of my ear. Other thought is appearing as the surface disappears. Caramba, take a number. Caramba, take a number. Oh, get in line with your mind. Get in line. Oh, hey, I'm in with the out crowd. The other thoughts crying out loud, Hey. Take the alternate, 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 take. Oh, the rest of resolution is not a solution. The impossible rap is ready to appear. Is it possible you are ready to hear? It's got something to do with what you just said. It's a thought you can't remember in the back of your head. Just return to sender. Think the other thought instead in order to transcend the end.
And I did work out my mystery.
It's an itsy-bitsy skitsy. Other thoughts on the phone.
Well, I haven't fully worked it out, but I'm a lot more integrated than I was 15 months ago.
Oh, so humiliating when your brain is uncoating.
And I didn't find one shrink in town who could even acknowledge what I had, let alone help me.
There is power in the name of Jesus.
So I had to do it myself.
To break every chain, break every chain, break every chain.
I had to learn everything I possibly could about MK Ultra mind control and
to break every chain,
monarch programming and
break every chain,
sex kitten programming and
break every chain.
Wizard of Oz programming and thank God for Fritz Springmeier.
To break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. To break
My name
every
is Wednesday
chain,
Wednesday.
break
Write it down,
every
write it down,
chain,
and don't forget.
break
Remember who you are,
every
who you
chain.
The minute you forget it, you're lost. My name is Wednesday. It wasn't hard planted. I had practice kitchen. It wasn't hard made on a price. I tried to scheme in this. Merely write the truth, Russian right. My name is Wednesday Trouble Kennedy. I'm a one-woman show. It's a tough son of his daughter and Trouble's father. My mother won't get in trouble. I'm partly my mother's daughter and partly my mother won't get in trouble, so other people don't. The social experiment. It's a tough kid, but someone's got a girl of my time. I might be a girl, but I'm trained for the task. There was a time I've been suckled on Catholicism, feminism, the sexual revolution, and power.
We know where it is.
I'm partly my mother's daughter, and partly the woman my mother warned me about. We knew planes could be missiles. There was a time buildings could melt.
This is possible. It's an itsy-bitsy skitsy. Other thoughts on the phone. So humiliating when your brain is uncoating. Back, before you thought it. Back, before you were there.
What's the elements of a ritual? Well, you use symbols, numbers,
Caramba, take a number.
geometric patterns, and words.
You can take your tongue out of my ear.
It would employ some form of worship, and then there's going to be a sacrifice, like a burnt offering or sacrifice lives.
So I was just watching, some of the elements of the mind control, the symbols, the fashion. This was the magazine that my album Post-Romantic was featured in, written by Alex Craig. And check out the cover. Now remember that film clip, Midnight Man by Flash in the Pan? So that's his face. And this is the one, this is the face that my album features in. The signifiers, and I just realized you don't have to come to my Facebook page and you could totally see that I was monarched. Like, it was so obvious. It was incredible, every photo, And then when I started to look at, different clips with, say, things like the duality stripes, the black and white duality stripes. Hey!
You like it?
That's cute, though.
No, it's for you. If it's not for you, I mean, I've got one for you for $5, but if we can find 2 more, then we can get it for 10.
Or the Freemason checkerboard stage. This image is all about the occult concept of duality, represented by the checkerboard pattern of Masonic ceremonial floors. The pattern is found on the floor of this picture, and Tilda is literally draped in it. The setting also includes religious, spiritual items, giving the shot an ethereal feel. Wonderworld checkerboard. Duality stripes. I look like a prisoner.
Dogs have one thing in common. They're waiting for somebody to claim
Oh my
it.
God.
And if somebody doesn't
Little S&M leather cap. See, this was fashion, but
How many dogs a week are bought to this particular pound?
I'm interviewing William Freeman, the vet. He's holding Toto. It's unbelievable. I don't know what that's behind his head.
And how many of those are put down?
No, it's for you.
The white glove.
I'm at your boogaloo. I'm at your door. I'm on the floor.
No, it's for you. It's an itsy bitsy skitsy. Other thoughts on the phone. So humiliating when your brain is uncollating. Back, before you thought it. Itsy skitsy. Other thoughts on the phone. So humiliating when your brain is uncollating. Back, before you thought it.
The mirroring, the multiple personalities facing and mirroring others. Lewis took that shot. The altar splitting, or the psyche splitting off into altars. 2 tildes separated by a fracture of the image represent the fracturing of an MK slave psyche into alter personality. That's me. I took those photos in New York. I stayed at this guy's flat. He might have been a spook too. I don't know, it's like everyone's a spook now at the moment. I'm afraid of my words now. I'm afraid of men with names like Ahmed. They're all afraid of men with names like Ahmed, Atta, me. What do you do with that dangerous lie and melting pot of now? And you keep those thoughts.
Oh dear, what can the matter be?
Maybe you'll end up in the
Dear
bad way.
where
Maybe you'll
and
end up in the
unwell
bad way
moments,
of
day,
life.
day, dear day and unday, day, day, day. Dear near the farther, inside a twist of body flesh smoked in the deep lost ravine, craving and carving, dear devil's fingernail paring. If you can hang on to your heart to chillax. Chillax, that's a new one from the U.S. Bringing it to you tonight, direct. Chillax and create. I'm still.
And pretend to be American. That is until you leave the country. The flag sits like a target in the bottom of my bag. I will leave it in the trash can at the airport, along with my aerosol deodorant and my toenail clippers. We have nothing to hide behind the flag.
You didn't become a professor by not knowing how to pay attention. Go find some hacks to work with in this town. There are plenty. Look up that woman you offered to carry your bags. You'll get up rolling like a house on fire, no doubt. But you don't stoke a woman like me and then leave when she starts to sizzle. You don't leave me in front of my crew talking to myself like a fucking mad woman.
Better to stay at home. Field your questions. Don't answer the telephone. Don't talk to strangers. And don't let the neighbors in. It's not that matters. I'm just trying to save a life. My own. And I was really in a bad way when I stayed there. But I'm going to save those stories for my book. You know, if I just looked at the photos alone, just the photos, not even counting the videos or the plays or the stories or the monologues or the poetry or the albums, not even counting any of that, just the photos that I took of myself, the photos that Lewis Morley, my own personal Lomo, took of me.
And if you're going to use mass mind control, that means that people that are in the public's eye that would have a platform to say something that people would give credibility to, you have to very severely control them. So anybody who's in a position of authority that can speak, they have controls on them.
And when you get 950 girls out of uniform, anything can happen.
Lewis took this one in 1998 for Post-Romantic, for that photo shoot. And look at me, I'm in the window, like a little pussycat in the fur coat, like I'm fully cooked at this point. I'm fully the kitten. The sex kitten has arrived. Photos that you know, people like Gustav, who was my own personal videographer, who turned up to every show. You know, I just thought he was a fan.
Eventually I couldn't stand it anymore. In a state of erotic seizure, I cornered him, threw him over my shoulder and dragged him out of the room.
He was always pointing the camera at, you know, either my sex or my breasts or... In one clip he put me on the, in the Pushy Dame show clip, he cuts in a picture of a pair of high heels on a Freemason checkerboard stage.
He was bloody heavy, you tried to do it in 9-inch heels.
See, I didn't know what that meant at the time, in the 90s. I didn't have a clue. But thanks to YouTube, I now know everything. Tilda goes all one-eyed Illuminati with it. The images, this holding of an eye and a mouth, appear to be of a rent person, hinting to the concept of programmed alter personality and control. You see what you are programmed to see, and say what you are programmed to say. You see what you are programmed to see, and you say what you are programmed to say. This was my Pushy Dame show. Gustav took that. Look, I'm throwing the pyramid. I'm talking about gold stars. I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, you know, yeah, I do, but I don't know what it symbolized when I did that. Okay, let's look at this.
I understand the confusion. I'm confused too. I'm Scarlet O'Hara, Blanche Dubois, trapped between the pages of a female eunuch. I'm partly my mother's daughter and partly the one that my mother warned me about. I'm a sort of feminine pastiche. But the core of me, honey, the core of me, sweetie, the core of me, my prince, is a Pushy Dame. So here are the rules.
Two tildes separated by a fracture of the image represent the fracturing of an MK slave's psyche into alter personalities. Right, so there's the two tildes. And notice she's wearing white gloves. And she's got one hand behind her back, and that's really interesting because for my post-romantic album, which was after The French Husband, when I'd been fully programmed, and I was fully cooked. And my album Post-Romantic is a testimony to that, and Lewis Morley did the photos for that. And he wanted me to take my clothes off because that was the money shot, but I brought in this woman who I knew from the Piccolo Bar, and she really wanted to be shot by Lewis Morley. And she was happy to take her clothes off. And I liked her body, you know. She didn't have any freckles on her back, and she was sort of, you know, luscious. So I chose her. So I bought in her at the last minute, and I just popped her in. She took her clothes off and took a photo, and he was furious. He was furious. That's the photo. So holding the heart behind the back.
But you've dealt with people that have escaped the Illuminati. I mean, how does that work? Do they ultimately try to find? They have to create a new identity. How can you escape this if their power is so total?
So this just turned up. I can't even remember how, but it was in a torn envelope. Like I'd opened it, but I can't remember how I got it.
Unfortunately, the reality of it is, no matter who you are, you have to continue living in this world, and this world and the world system is run by them. So eventually they'll control reproduction and just have it done in their factories. They'll take it away from individuals.
There's a butterfly box.
If you're crazy, you're crazy. You just go around the bend.
They look so bright, but really it's a memory of somewhere so far.
Jay's done a wonderful job.
Oh, this one doesn't want to come.
No, it's
Lady from next door is getting some things.
Okay, well, we'll start with another one.
I'll leave that one there.
And we'll find someone strong enough eventually.
Yeah.
Someone will take it on just for a challenge.
That's the worry,
The
isn't it?
bottle of champagne that can't be opened.
Which one there? Can no one open it?
Oh,
Oh, I love it.
it's a case of the same. Someone's bought a new sculpture for the exhibition.
Where's the champagne?
I like this one. You're the only one that's asked so far.
I was thinking it.
I always say what people are thinking.
Break every chain, break every chain. Woo! To break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. There is power.